Live. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Tuesdays with Terry. We'll get started in a minute. We'll let some people log in that might want to watch this live. You can always find it on this Facebook page. If you found it tonight, you can find it again, and that way you can watch it at your leisure. We have over 20 episodes with different topics. Tonight's topic is now the right time to buy a house. So before we dive into that, I'd just like to take care of a few things, some housekeeping here. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a while since we've done an episode of Tuesdays with Terry. I had some surgery on my face, and it was a little bit difficult for me to speak. It's still healing, and I'm having some dental surgery done. So it's been a little difficult for me to speak, and I was extremely self-conscious about how I look. So I think tonight's topic is germane because June is National Home Buyers Month. So is it the right time to buy? You know, it's the housing market has been on the news a lot lately. You know, the prices of lumber have gone up. Inventory is low. Prices are skyrocketing. So there's been a lot written about what's going on with the housing market. There are people that think that this is the new normal, and there are people that think that there will be a shift. Real estate is cyclical. So the odds are there will be a shift, and though there will be more inventory coming on market, we don't know when. We're not going to see a flood of foreclosures like we saw during the Great Recession, but there are going to be some foreclosures coming on the market. So market definitely will change. Will it change in the favor of home buyers, or will it stay with home sellers? I mean, this is definitely a seller's market. So let's talk about that a little bit. Investors, well, house flippers, they claim that they make their money on the house when they buy it. So just like every other investor, their goal is to buy low and sell high. Can you do that in this market? Well, are there houses out there that aren't overpriced? Well, there are some. Every day when I look at the data, I see between Fort Pierce and Miami, you know, we see over 100 properties that have expired. So they've been on the market for so many days and they didn't sell. And, you know, the belief is right now that houses are selling in 2 or 3 days. So Why haven't these houses sold? Generally speaking, especially in a seller's market, the reason houses don't sell is because they're overpriced. That's really what it boils down to. They've overshot the market. And when there was an appraisal done, the house didn't appraise. So maybe the buyers backed out. They probably had a contingency that they could get out of the contract as long as their lender won't make the loan. And if there's a difference between what you're paying, let's say you're paying $400,000 for the house, but it only appraises at $375,000. Well, the lender's only going to lend on $375,000. So you have two gaps there. You're not going to get 100% financing. So you're financing on a lower number, plus you have another $25,000 that has to come out of your pocket if you want to purchase the house. Can you do that? Well, if you can, that's great. More power to you. If you have the ability to throw $30,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 extra into a real estate transaction, good for you. You're in good financial shape. Not many can do that. I mean, the average person, they don't have $30,000 laying around. That might be their life savings. You don't want to pour your entire life savings into purchasing a house, because once you purchase the house, you're still going to have some expenses, and you're going to have closing costs too. So, are there houses out there for you? Well, not many, but as you can see, or as I've stated, that there are houses that expire every day. There are houses that are back on the market every day. And usually they come back on the market at a lower price. And that's generally because two reasons. An inspection issue. Maybe they find out that they won't be able to insure the property because the roof is too old, or the lender won't loan on the house because there are some issues. Or, as we just discussed, which is becoming more and more popular, the house didn't appraise. So they overshot the market. The sellers overshot the market. So now they've wasted, the average time to close is 53, 54 days in this market. So they've wasted 50 days, and now they have to start all over again with new people, showing the house again, getting 20, 30 offers. The whole process starts over again, and it's time consuming. But if you have the right strategy, you might be able to find that needle in a haystack. How do you do that? Well, every situation is a little bit different. But it has to be tailored to what your needs are. Ideally, what you're going to be left with in the market are houses that didn't appraise, so the price got dropped, or the houses expired because they were asking too much for it. And some of these expired listings have expired because, like we just discussed, maybe it needs a new roof. That could be $10,000, $15,000. There could be issues with the house that are keeping people away from buying it because they're able to purchase they have the financial ability to purchase a turnkey house that you don't have to do anything to. So another option is buying a house that needs renovated and using, say, an FHA 203K renovation loan. So, that can get a little complicated, but, well, I've done them before. Most lenders are well versed. So that's an option. But you probably won't hear another realtor say this, but maybe this isn't the market for you right now. If you don't have the extra cash to pay for your down payment, closing costs, which sometimes can be folded into the loan, and then make up the difference, the shortfall between the appraisal price and what the lender will loan, then this isn't the market for you. So what should you do? Should you just give up? No. As we talked earlier, real estate's cyclical. The economy's cyclical. So it will turn. I believe it will turn. And most people do believe it will turn, especially when, the supply chain has been disrupted in this country because of the pandemic. So we're having shortages of a lot of items. You can just go to the grocery store and you can see some items they're out of stock or they don't have them. You see a little note, due to supply issues, we're not able to carry this item right now. Well, that's hit lumber. But eventually the cost will come down because builders may stop building and supply and demand. So, the price will come down. Supply and demand with real estate. Once we get more houses on the market, then houses won't be selling for 30% over what their fair market value is. So, what should you do in this time? Well, I recently read an article that said that only approximately 30% of potential home buyers think this is a good market to buy in. Whereas a year ago, over 50% thought the market was good. That was before the pandemic. So what are those people doing? Well, another article I read said that a lot of millennials are taking this time to sit back, save more money, improve their credit score, get their debt to income ratio down, qualify for a better loan, and have more money to put down when the market turns. So what I'm saying is now's the time to get ready. We've discussed this in the past and some other issues, our topics that we've had on Tuesdays with Terry, that it takes a while to get prepared to become a homeowner. It could take 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. There are things that you need to do. You need to get your credit score. You need to talk to a lender. You need to find out what loans you might qualify for, and if there's any down payment assistance programs available to you. So what I say is now's the time to get ready. If you want a copy of this best-selling book, Your First Home, I'll gladly get one out to you. Call me, text me, leave a message. Go through this book, mark it up. It's a good roadmap. to becoming a homeowner. In the meantime, you need to get in touch with a realtor that you trust. There's no sense to go out and look at houses right now because you're not qualified for a loan yet. But you can get set up with a search on MLS, or you can go to my website, which I'll put the link in after the episode ends, and you can search for houses right off my website. It's a feed we have. It's called IDX, and basically you're using the MLS through my website. So you kind of get an idea of where the market is and what you might be able to afford. You don't want to go to the high end of houses. You want to go to the lower end that you're comfortable with, that doesn't take all your money. So there's also a link that I'll post, and it's on this Facebook page too. I have a website that you can find out what government programs you might qualify for to help purchase a home. It could be, down payment assistance. It could be, second mortgages. There are a lot of things out there. All you have to do is answer a few questions, and you'll get a list of what programs you could qualify for. Now, you can't use all the programs at the same time, but and you'll get links to find out more information on those programs. It's a really good website. And, with the market the way it is, the odds are that this isn't the market for you, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. This isn't a very good market to get started in. So get prepared. Get prepared now, so you're in a position that when the market turns, you're in a position to participate. You don't want to get left out. Interest rates are still low, and they'll probably remain low for a while. So here's what I suggest that you do. If you come to the conclusion that this isn't the market for you, and a lot of people have come to that conclusion, contact me, get my book, go to my down payment assistant website, plug in your information, see what programs you might qualify for. Now, these are just government programs. Each bank has programs of their own, or each lending institution. Let's put it that way. Get your credit score. Find yourself a realtor that you think could that understands your situation and can help you, because this could be a longer process than it usually is, that it has been in the past couple of years. So you want a realtor that you can communicate with, someone that will set you up with a search on MLS so you can kind of monitor the market. You can go to my website. You can use my search tool. You can go to my down payment assistance website and find out what down payment programs you might qualify for, and use this opportunity to prepare yourself for home ownership. This is the time to do that. If it's a dream, you can make it happen. It just might take a little time, but it all starts with a conversation. You have to talk to a realtor. You have to talk to a lender. You have to start getting your ducks lined up so that you can be in the right position to purchase the house when these houses start coming on the market, which could be 3 months, could be 6 months, could be 9 months. You found the Facebook page. I encourage you to come back to find some of the other episodes that we've done. I encourage you to click on the Facebook page where you can get a free, I don't know if it's a 15 or 30-minute no obligation consultation. We could do it on Facebook. We can do it on Zoom, and we could discuss your situation. And I can lay out um, some alternatives for you, some steps that can help you get into home ownership. So feel free to give me a call, text me, email me, any questions you have on real estate. And I'll be glad to get back to you and give you the best answers I can. If you decide you'd like to work with me, I'd be delighted to work with you. We can work something out. Everybody's situation is different. So we're going to wrap it up for tonight. Not sure what next week's topic will be, but we'll be back here next Tuesday night. And I hope to see you, or I hope you're able to watch this at a later time. Thanks. Have a good night.